Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of We Talking About. Today, we're going to be talking about iZombie. I don't know what episode this is. 5?
Season 2, Episode 5.
Bam! I'm like the fucking man.
Nailed it. What? No.
So start us off, because I don't even remember watching this episode.
When did you watch it?
I watched it like 10 hours ago.
Oh, okay.
It's the longest between watching and talking about it we've ever gone. So people who may or may not know about me, I have no memory whatsoever. I've rotted my brain with years of sugar, drugs. I can't see.
You say this a lot. Did you forget? No, you don't.
Who knows what episodes people are watching?
No, and that's why I write things down, because I also, I could throw this away right now and still probably do this, but the notes are very helpful.
If you asked me what was the crime in this episode, I'd be like, was there a crime?
So ironically enough, I was about to be like, I know everything, and then when you say a question, it makes me like blank out and all that stuff. That's why I'm holding on for dear life to this composition notebook.
I'm actually trying to think of what the crime was. No idea. I remember some things. Keep going. We'll jog the memory.
I was going to say, picking up from like the previous stuff or like whatever,
Sure.
This episode begins with smooching.
Yes, all right.
Because last episode ended with smooching.
Yes, and it abruptly stops because she's like, tongues, you could get zombie disease, and she frames up something that like I haven't thought about ever.
Okay.
During this, she's like, I could accidentally scratch you, and bam, you're a zombie. How many times do you accidentally scratch somebody in life? And this is not saying like, bitch, you never accidentally scratch somebody. Like, you go to get your change from a cashier or listen to that and like their thumb touches you or something. And you're like, every one of those encounters could be you just turn people into zombies. She should wear gloves all the time.
Yes, but I've never been scratched or accidentally scratched anyone in my entire life.
You think that you've been scratched?
It's possible I'm scratching people left and right, but they're too polite to point it out.
I've been maimed by you in the past.
I'm
just a gentleman, so I don't say.
This is a mask of my own face taken before the incident. No, but 100%, because she could even, who knows how this zombieism even works or how it spreads or whatever the fuck, right? So
Exactly.
there's probably a lot of risks going on. I found this whole thing pretty charming.
The her and Major thing?
I mean, for some reason, may have been just in a good mood here, but
there's always very quick jumps in relationships around this show where it's like bam, bam, dang, dang, like
yeah.
And they have history and stuff, but it's also very weird. You'd regardless of what brain is impacting her, you'd think she'd still have her scientist mind of like, hey, I just wasted all the cure to cure this motherfucker, and now I'm gonna potentially infect him again.
Yeah. Where does he say this?
Where does he
says
say
it
what?
later in this episode. I thought he said something else here, but no, they're smooching. She's taking his blood pressure, and she mentions, like, what if I scratch you? What if I slip or whatever? And he's like, all of our problems could be solved with condoms and rock salt or whatever. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I still kind of hate him.
Yeah, it's weird with him.
And it does appear he is actually training people at the Max Raider place, which was something that we had said earlier on. It's like, is he actually training people, or is that and he actually is training people.
And the redhead, is her name Rita?
Rita Repulsa.
Rita, because I thought someone called her Gilda. And is Rita short for Gilda? Is it one of those weird name things?
As far as I know, no. But I also couldn't tell you what her name was.
Well, I heard Rita in this episode, and I was like, I've been saying Gilda this whole time. But I'm only saying Gilda because I thought...
Maybe one is the roommate's name and one is her actual name?
Oh, my God, maybe.
Because she has a fake identity?
That's entirely possible.
I was hoping she would turn into a zombie, jumping ahead, when...
Yes.
Like, she cuts Liv, and then, like, moments later grabs, like a piece of pepper or whatever and eats it, and I'm like, I hope there's a little bit of blood in that pepper. I hope you turn into a zombie.
I hope you turn into a zombie.
You bitch.
I want a lot of people to turn into zombies.
Yeah, the whole world could be better with a little bit of zombie juice. This I don't know. That girl annoys me. Something about her face is, like, fake.
She's a little annoying. Her acting is kind of theatery.
Yeah.
But,
But that kind of, like... I don't necessarily hate that style of it because she is like a rich hoity-toity whatever. So like they are more, oh, Jeeves, give me my diabetes medicine. I couldn't think of anything.
What don't you like though? Something about her face?
Her face just seems plastic.
Yeah.
Like she looks like a fake individual. And I don't know.
I don't recognize her from anything else. I'm not sure if I know this actress or whatever.
I don't think I've ever seen her before. And if I have, I don't recognize her. She didn't leave an impression, or she's a wonderful actress and she totally takes on identities.
Just dyed her hair. Yeah, I mean, she's a fine character, I suppose. I don't really know what
It's
Don't
not
have a
like
lot
she
of
stands out as
expectations
bad
out
in
of her.
this show because
Sure.
of how like the bar is set relatively
Yes.
low.
Yeah. There's been so much Major though. I think he's just wearing me down, and I'm less offended by him now or
Did
whatever.
Major then start to almost do drugs again? Like, did he kick it and then almost go right back into it after giving his
Yes.
little speech on, like, he begged me to take care of his dog. He told me he was taking care of his aging family. Ah, and then he was, yes, he was cognizant. Was it more like a moan? No, he was pleading for his life. I was
Yes.
like, God
Yes.
damn.
So in like continuing the theme of everybody being super dumb or whatever, we can probably jump to that. I don't know where that is. I took way too many notes this time.
Real quick, just to go back, or forward, I should say.
Sure.
So, like, they cut to the underground secret laboratory, and they have
Yeah,
a zombie
that's
tied
what I
up.
wanted to jump to,
And
yeah.
oh, cool. So, like, the doctor, who's like presumably the head doctor,
Yep.
doesn't know anything about zombies.
That's what I was
Like
saying.
at all. And I'm like, what?
So
How are you in charge?
So in like an almost funny whatever the hell thing, the zombie's like chained up or roped up or something, and there's a brain in like a dog
In a bowl.
in like a dog bowl looking thing, and they're like, "What the hell? Come on, the cane is right there," which is
Yeah, use the tool.
it's a standard tool using intelligence test that this zombie is like failing miserably, which is as expected. But yeah, way too far towards the angle of like they don't know it's even possible for a like zombie to be totally lucid or whatever. That's crazy.
Do they
right?
not share notes at all? Like she's like, yeah, I have a roommate. Do you think you're just in a room with a thing like how's it
Right.
paying rent? What do you think is happening?
That's what I'm talking about is even if you're not allowing guy from Wings who probably would have explained this, they probably have like a dossier on Liv or whatever the fuck. Even barring all that, the person she's literally talking to, who she then says get me a sample or whatever the fuck, crazy.
And then, like, she is supplying Major with a drug to knock these people out.
Yeah.
What does she think he needs that for? What do you think this list is? Like,
Right.
why do you need Major at all? If things were all like, you'd be like, that's a zombie. That's clearly a zombie.
Yeah, and does she really? Could she really think that Liv is the only one who's like Liv?
She could, but
'Cause
even
wouldn't-
if she did, that would still mean she knows there's one. And
wouldn't that doctor have been involved in the making of the list and the probabilities and all that
I
shit?
think that was the other doctor who was dead.
Who's now a zombie?
Who was a zombie who they
He's
didn't.
now a trap.
But they didn't reuse in this. I guess he's SAG. They needed some.
They needed another zombie. Yeah, I thought that was. I don't even know where to go with that, but that was some crazy fucking. I wrote down that I really liked that sob story actually that he told about. He's like, no, he said he cares for his, like decrepit, parents, and
He
they
has
need
aging
him.
parents.
And
they
then,
depend on him.
And then when he realized he wasn't going to survive the night, he begged me to take his dog and all that shit. And you're like, oh
Yeah.
god.
No, it was pretty sad. You could see why he immediately went home and was going to shoot up
Yeah.
or snort, whatever you do with Utopia. I guess he snorted.
He seems to snort it, but it's a liquid
Well, how do you snort liquids?
with a needle.
You snort needles. You're sick.
You're a sick
Bigger
fuck.
problem than I ever thought.
So Max Rager, yeah. So I made several notes about that whole thing because it was like puzzling to me too. I'm not sure. Like it's funny, I guess, that she doesn't get it or something, but it's weird.
It's not funny. It's like insulting to the audience, and it's like lazy, cheap writing.
Okay, yes, but when I say it's funny, I mean like
Unless you mean it's peculiar.
I mean that they are telling a joke. This is their attempt to be funny.
Yes.
Like they're obviously not. They didn't sit down and say it makes the most sense for this character to act this way. They said
But
this
that
would
would
be
be like
funny
the
if
president
it
of the United States saying like, I don't believe in climate change. Like, it's just insulting. It's not funny.
right? It's a conspiracy by the Chinese.
That makes sense.
Then it makes sense. All right, I don't know. So did anything else happen with Max Rager and those motherfuckers? We already gave it away, but Liv gets Gilda / Rita / the redhead, the secretary, the daughter of the Wings guy.
Takes some blood.
Gets a blood
One
sample.
single drop on a napkin, which I'm like, how useful is that?
So I didn't want to nitpick that, but that doesn't make sense, right? Because it dries out and
what
it's not
can
a
you do
sample
with it?
anymore.
I guess like if you drop like there's probably some like anticoagulate drop that can like get something, but it's like a useless amount.
I don't know what exactly they're gonna do with that blood or what they're doing here.
They're gonna clone Superman, Lee.
Again with Lex Luthor.
Yeah. What was the crime in this episode?
So-
and why can't I think of it?
So it actually cuts from the kissing right in between to like a basketball game on.
Oh my God. Okay,
Did that just trigger literally everything?
I remember
in your
everything
whole
from the
thing?
episode.
Okay,
now.
good.
So I thought this was like a little weird thing, and they admit that this like law firm has like a wet man that like
A wet man?
that like takes care of murders and stuff, and I'm like, what? Like,
Yeah, we should not have any pretext of chronology here or whatever. I should just say though, so like security guard / basketball coach, he's watching a game, and after he gets shot in like the chest, he goes, "He scores!" or whatever the fuck.
Of course.
And I chuckled at that because I like things like that.
Yeah, so Liv takes over as like the coach / gives Major a reason to live, making him the coach, but she's living through him as the coach because she has coach mind.
She gets the power of coach. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Come on, Lily White, you're better than this. Something, inspirational speech. And he's just like, you're weird.
She's giving pep talks and stuff, and like he even knows now because he's like, whose brain did you eat this week? Like episodes ago.
Yeah.
He even knows how it like works.
Davino should know how it works.
Yes, he should know how it works.
With the amount of swing changes, like, all right, you're a country singer. All right, you're like a military lady. Okay, you're a stoner. All right, now we like basketball.
I will be very upset. So therefore, I am already upset if he cannot put this together. Like, we were investigating a dead country singer who you were getting visions of before her death, and you could suddenly play guitar.
But you
we
nailed this a while ago when she should just say, I have like residual contact with their minds.
Because I have to connect with like the echoes of their personality.
Because that would even make sense. Like, I don't know why they don't do anything like that.
And it would still be funny that she's suddenly, right? Because, again,
it doesn't take away from anything. It only adds to things and makes things make sense. Again, it's lazy writing, and it's just annoying.
They want the, like, humor of, like, Babineau. And because even Ravi does it, where he says, like, could you please just concentrate and not do this or whatever? Like, he's even acting like lately he has sort of turned it around where he's saying like you're not going to remember those names in like a week or whatever, so like
you don't want to name after the Celtics because we don't want to know who they are.
Exactly, because I know
I have a rat named Bird.
I have no bloody idea why we have a rat named Bird. No, I don't know. I don't know why they don't do that. I think they think it's really funny when like Clive doesn't understand why she's acting like that.
But it would not change a thing to make it make sense. Like, it would still be funny, it would still be out of context, of blah, 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 and, like, you'd have things like, oh, okay, because of this. And he could even play up on it, be like, can you play the guitar? Like, things like that, like, it's just frustrating.
Yeah, right. So, if you, like, got past this, so, like, it feels weird to have it the way it is now. You could make it not feel weird, and then do extra work on top of that to add new jokes about him being like, so do you know, by any chance know the combination to the safe? You could do, like, dumb stuff like that. But you don't. You just do nothing in the very beginning.
Take that for season 3, iZombie. You stupid bastards.
I think they watch these. So they should totally take it.
This crime was kind of dumb, though. Like, it didn't really do anything for the plot. It was just an excuse to get some weird basketball shit in the thing. I didn't think it was very entertaining for a firm that has a man who takes care of like disposing of bodies and shit. You'd think he'd like go through the office and like clean things, not say, okay, you clean this, because wouldn't that put both their lives in jeopardy?
Yep, there would be a whole operation that would do stuff like that. That would like his whole office would have been like, we have to fumigate, and the whole thing would have been like stripped. It would have been this like whole
new
thing
blinds,
going on.
Yes.
If it was like that, I was like,
if you are a firm that has a man on retainer to do this,
fixer on retainer,
you'd think he'd be a good one. It wouldn't just be like discount bargain bin fixer.
Right, maybe he's a bad fixer and that's fine or whatever. But yes, this was another time where like the dead person we're investigating is a different dead person than the person that the person was killing when they did the thing for the other reason that the thing was this crazy convoluted crime.
Well, this show's all about convenience. Speaking of convenience, so we have our...
we cross out every note about the crime.
Our twin comes through.
When he said twin, I was like, oh shit, were they twins? Is it the same actor?
It's the same actor.
Oh my god, I'm so bad with faces and like people.
I'm bad with names, so together we're everything.
So together we're bad with everything.
Yes. So I thought the fight scene in the morgue between Ravi and Blaine was amazing. And,
thank God.
And the way it ended when he's like, all right, well, that's my cardio for the day. And like, because it's like, well, we have no reason to fight anymore. The thing I wanted is gone. I'll
amazing.
See you later.
I'm glad you said amazing, because I was afraid that I liked it and you'd be like, because you're like, I thought the fight in the morgue, and you were building on it and be like, was the worst.
I thought it was great. I thought it was
I really
great.
enjoyed it too. It was like funny because it's like the scene in like I can't think of anything, but like like James Bond doesn't do this, but if Q had to fight against like the bad guys,
Yeah.
like it's like the nerds are fighting now because Blaine's a human now, and
Yeah.
he's like a ringleader type, and he's not like a tough guy anyway. He just talks like convincingly,
And
like,
Ravi,
bosses
like, you
people
knew
around.
Ravi would win this because he doesn't have to get it. He only has to make sure he doesn't get it.
Yes,
It's a
yes.
glass container. It's not like it's ridiculous. And I love that he broke it with a different liquid, so you couldn't even
Yep.
just like scrape some up.
Exactly. I actually loved that, and I didn't know if it was going to be like an acid or some weird thing that would do something or whatever. But yes, it was just like diluting it and fucking with it. Gabriel comes back, is what we're talking about,
Yes.
and says, "Listen, I will like cut the stuff. I just need that fucking cure, like
I
whatever.
will not eat brains.
I refuse to eat brains. God's testing me."
Which leads us to right before the fight we
Yes.
just talked about. He sneaks in, grabs the cure, but really it's the poison, and he
Yes.
injects himself and dies immediately.
So Ravi has prepared the solution to start making new rats for trial round 2.
Yep.
And
Two wrongs don't make a
fucking
right.
Gabriel fucking just injects all of that into his arm instead of doing whatever the fuck. And then Blaine says, "Well, you got yourself like an instant zombie killer. That might be useful." And then there's this awesome like beat of like, and they both like run for it and all that
Yeah.
shit. I was like, oh, that was super super cute.
But it's not like zombies are these like weird immortal things. A headshot kills them anyway. Like you already
yeah.
know how to kill them.
No. I totally.
I guess it's a bonus to be able to shoot them in the leg and they die, but
Yeah.
I wasn't like, oh no, their only way of killing them, like
right,
cut their
and
heads off.
it's potentially easier to just like stick them with something than like do all like the messy killing or whatever the fuck. But
Yeah, and then
who
they would just fall
knows?
down dead.
Exactly. But I was already giggling because Blaine was singing the Cure song.
Oh, then it starts
or
playing.
whatever the fuck. Well, and they play the same song during this like running, fighting, pushing each other like in the face scene or whatever the fuck. But Blaine again does a like cool like accent like thing he's
Yeah.
doing or whatever. I don't know who this actor is. I don't think he's been in like anything else. I think he might be good.
I've not seen him in anything.
I might be a fan of this random guy.
No, he's pretty solid, and like his good scenes are very good, and the bad scenes are writing based. They're not him.
Yeah, but he did that like, oh, Clarence, look at this guy
Yeah,
over here,
yeah.
and all. It's like he's been mugging and doing these little things where I'm like, I like what you're doing here, man. Which I guess is why he's like the antagonist or the Spike or whatever to
He's the
Livs,
bad guy.
to
Lead.
Livs whatever. Yeah. All right.
What else you got in them notes there,
Gabriel.
kid?
More about the crime. Shit's horrible.
The crime, almost
so-
irrelevant. So, like, the ending of it was, a lawyer had a bookie come for him. He killed the bookie to get the bookie out of the way. He called the fixer to take the body out. He brought the body down. Bam, he shot the security guard. The security guard is who Liv eats, and that's how all this shit starts.
And she's seeing visions of like the one kid's dad like hitting the kid and like fucking with
Yeah,
him.
again, just
and-
throwing you off. Almost,
Yeah.
you can almost guarantee that whenever they interview somebody, like it's like, well, that guy has nothing to do with it. And then Davino though does go there, and goes, like, you don't beat kids, motherfucker, and just, like beats that dude down.
I expected you to mention that because you've been very critical of this tiny man beating up people or whatever. I thought you were going to single this out as like a bad,
that
unrealistic
guy,
thing.
we watched him. He's like the worst like fighter ever.
Okay, good.
So I was like, okay, but like that guy's bigger than him, yes, but he clearly can't fight or kick or anything.
Okay.
So I
Awesome.
was not, I wasn't that off put by this, and he did go through the police academy. He should be able to throw a punch, and he does. The critical part here would be like, you just lost your job, bro.
Yes.
But that guy might have been too big of like a scaredy cat to tell anyone he got his ass beat that he wouldn't tell anybody,
I think he was, well, so that actually leads into something that I was hoping to be able to bring up, and now I can, where Clive gets called into like the commissioner, chief,
Sasuke.
whatever's, office. And she's like, so, do you know why you're here? And he goes, I know, I shouldn't have done it. And he goes, well, then why'd you do it? I just got off the phone with Suzuki's widow or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, like, not me beating that guy's
But
ass.
then behind him
Oh.
is his fucking like new partner or whatever, like doing rowboat
Yep.
shit, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I wrote down, a new girl is trolling Clive. Somewhere in here. Clive.
It was like terrible. I was like, what's happening?
I'm not sure why that happened.
And he laughs. I'm like, what are you laughing at? This isn't funny. This is ridiculous.
Well, this is to show that, like,
I'm just thinking of a
they're
funny Vine that was sent to me.
topical, current.
Not really.
The,
Vine was just
the
sold and
kids
destroyed,
love
wasn't
the Vine.
it?
I don't know anything about Vine.
I don't believe Vine exists anymore.
I'm sure you can still Vine things.
I don't know if you can.
The kids love the Vine stuff. We have to put it in, in our show.
I believe it's a dying media, and I think it may have already died, or at least the date was set for its
the
servers to be
Snapchats. We
expunged.
have to do Snapchat.
Snapchat is popular.
on our show.
Snapchat is popular. So at the
But then
end,
once
though,
the show
Suzuki's
airs,
widow goes, I was thinking about what he said. He might have been suicidal. I went through his mini fridge. He had this. What a fuck? Like, would you, A, just, what? She finds, like, a brain in his mini
yeah.
fridge and
So
then gives it
that's
to Davino. A, what do you think is going to happen? B, why? If you ever loved this dude, he's dead now. Fucking forget about it. What do you hope to achieve by this?
so yes. So that was like the is that considered a red herring? What is that considered? A MacGuffin?
Stupid plot device?
No. Well, so
What's that, a McMuffin?
what's that? A Charlie horse? So like he thought, okay, so he's like, I just made a mistake, like really early on. I just called Suzuki's widow and insinuated he was suicidal, whatever. You
Yeah.
expect that to be the dumb, like, that then is the excuse that he's getting chewed out, even though he doesn't know about the real thing he should be getting chewed out for. So you assume it's, like, done, but then when she walks in, she gives him a brain. What does she say? Something like, this doesn't make any sense to me, maybe it'll make sense to you, or something like that. And hands him
Brain
off like a
freezes better than anything in the world.
It looks
It
exactly
looks
like brain.
exactly like brain, like it came out of the skull 1 second ago.
Yeah, shouldn't it look gray and weird
Probably.
by now?
And like, think about if you ever froze like a cauliflower and just let it defrost. It doesn't look at all like a cauliflower should
Well,
look.
and meat in particular discolors, and there's weird bits and all that stuff. But for all so like the point of this scene is like Babino now has a bead on the whole fucking maybe like
Does he though? Like, could you really make the connection at all in a real world scenario here? You're like, okay, I have a piece of a brain. I guess I could get it checked to find out it's human, and then I guess he was a weird cannibal fuck. Like,
I guess I don't know if there's any evidence at the meet cute or how this whole thing works or what the fuck's going on or anything like that. Right? It was all destroyed. No one knows anything. I'm hoping.
well, they said they found a hair in the drain.
Well, that was an unrelated. Yeah, I was going to mention. So New Chick says to Clive, like, by the way, I'm investigating blah blah blah. Do you remember this and that? Aren't you the dude from from that case, Suzuki, the fucking thing? And then yeah, Alan York, the astronaut, they found one of his hairs in the drain somehow, which I don't know. When you're testing all those hairs in the drain.
I can't imagine why you would test anything in the drain.
Yeah.
But, whatever. Bad writing. It's fine.
But so I don't know. I think all that's meant to indicate
They should have just
that,
found a hand or something. Like,
with a fingerprint.
well, like you could check DNA on a hand, and you'd have reason to be like, what? None of our people were missing a hand. Whose hand is this?
Right, some piece of him or whatever. So hair, yes, hair is weird, but the idea is that everything like missing persons, meet cute, Blaine and brains, everything's closing in on there or whatever, right?
If they can check this brain and find out that was the NASA dude, then you might have some interesting things where it's like, okay, so they were eating the brain.
Yeah, do you think Suzuki would have any of that brain? I wonder. I don't know. Oh, shit.
What?
Didn't Blaine give him one of those when he can't? No, he didn't.
I don't remember at all.
It was many episodes ago, but I just had like a thing. I think Suzuki went to Blaine and was saying like someone's asking questions or something's happening, and he handed him one of those containers or whatever, and was like, "Next time I want my information fresh, like you like your brains. Here you go, like on the house or whatever." So that could be Alan York's brain. Wouldn't that be crazy? It's probably not.
It was such a huge piece of brain, though,
Yeah.
that there could not have been enough to divide that, like, enough.
And it wasn't like fancily done or whatever to be that brain.
Yeah.
It's probably just a normal brain. And if it is, even then, I don't know. This is the first step, though, to Clive hopefully finding fucking out about the zombie
we'll
situation. I don't know. But that was my underlined last note at the end because it was like the whole thing at the end because Clive goes, what? Or whatever the fuck. Like, he's like, oh, those are brains.
I just thought it was such a weird play by Mrs. Suzuki. I was like, who would do this?
It's a strange thing. I mean, you have to kind of take it for face value in a situation like this and just be like, this is what she'd do, I guess.
But like when it was frozen, it would be like this rock thing. It would be like indistinguishable to anything else. You'd probably just throw everything away. You're like, I don't know how long this has been here. It's my husband's, whatever bullshit. Fuck this, whatever. It's weird to be like, well, I let it thaw out. I looked at it, looked like a brain. I figured I better bring this to the police.
I figured I better bring this to this guy that also asked me about him earlier and is probably investigating.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. But
Nah, this episode is You have any last thoughts on this episode here, Lave? Any notes you want to go over? Any kids you want to bit?
Just relationship stuff. All right, that shit's all done. So Major blows off Rita,
Yeah, so Rita texts him.
She's all wanting to get freaky still and do stuff. She finds out from Liv right before she like sticks her that like she's at the very least made out with Major and reacts very strongly to it. Like she plays like she's a hard bitch that's just having fun on like the monkey bars, but really she wants to own the whole cow.
They also bring up though that Rita or Gilda, whatever her name is, has another place somewhere because she's like, oh, I didn't bring him home. We're too loud or some shit like that.
Oh, where did she say they went? Yeah.
Didn't say, but she said there was some other place. So it wasn't Major's and it wasn't home. So at least.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm assuming there's a place at the office where they were or something.
Probably.
Like that. I don't. I'm so beyond.
I expect there to be that same Max Rager lobby thing in like the bedroom.
Yeah, whatever bedroom they were in. Because had I known to pay attention to it at the time, we probably would know. Like, wait, that was probably in that place or whatever.
Yeah.
So Major like flushes. He's like, I don't want. He makes a joke about never tell me the odds or whatever.
Yeah.
I found charming. Something about too much. He's wearing me down because he's doing enough stuff that I like. That his bullshit shit that I don't like is like getting softer to me. Like his coaching thing.
That never tell me the odds one did not strike me as charming. I was like, fanfare. All right, shut up.
Like fan service, like bullshit things.
No, I was not into it.
So he shaves, he flushes the utopium, and he says, I can't keep doing this, I can't keep pretending, I'm okay with us just being friends.
And now they're potentially not friends.
And he also says, I'm a better man, like when you're around or something like that. And I was like, what is this horrible?
That's just something they took from some other movie.
Yeah, I know, but like, why did I say that? That's crazy. That's like saying, never tell me the odds. Right? Normal conversation. No one talks like that.
Now, this episode was not too good. It didn't really, I don't think it advanced us enough to warrant its eh-ness.
Its existence, yeah.
Yeah. So let's hope next week gives us something a little bit better.
Yeah, we're still in that trough of like we're in the middle now, hoping to get to something else soon.
Yeah, but there could be a mid-season finale bit coming. I don't know if the show had that.
I feel bad for even bringing it up because it's entirely possible we're in for like 9 more episodes of filler.
I know, it sucks.
Something like that.
But until next time, guys, don't die in a fire.